Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see, it's Mike and the Minifans.
All right, we are back. Mike and the Minifans. What is it? January 31st, 2025. Folks, the return of Andrew Augustus. We got to start right now. That's where I'm starting. I don't have anything else on the list. Goose, how we doing? Talk to us. Where are you?
I'm in my office. I just got a new desk. So, yeah. Just
You got a lot of work done on that desk?
Goose,
I do get a lot of work done on my desk.
Nobody's heard a word from you really since the best of debacle, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're
Give
right.
us an update on the Goose. What's happening with you? How have you been? You kind of go on radio silent. Am I wrong?
No, life's come up a bit. So dealing with some stuff at home and working. That's pretty much all I've been doing. That and some games. Nothing else too much.
Future
Laying
of the
low.
Fluff piece, is it still available? Can we?
I've got some requests out. I've talked to some people, scheduling some things up. So we're still working. I'm alive. I'm just I needed to take some time for home stuff, and we're still dealing with it. So
Yeah, I mean, with the whole best of, I guess, debacle, like I was in the camp of if you actually had stuff going on, there was probably better ways to handle it.
Oh,
and you probably could have let everybody know it and all that. I think you were trying to have fun with it, and I've been there where.
It definitely reached a point where I was having way too much fun with it.
Really?
Your texts weren't helping.
Oh,
because I still no,
okay,
they weren't. They were certainly weren't. I have no reason to trust you, right? Like from everything we've dealt with. I'm on a similar side of Justin with how I feel about you. So that's why like I kept seeing texts from you and it, like, one, how'd you get my new number? Two,
Goose, we're buddies. You know I'm always going to text you. I'll find a way to.
How the fuck? I part of the reason I was happy to get a new number was that no one would have my new number except a certain select amount of people. But apparently that's getting loosed out. No, yeah, no, I handled it poorly, and then I started seeing texts from you. I just started getting pissed off. Then it just started getting funny. I did have all the clips. Like my original plan was, I had all the clips from Twitter. My original plan was going to be this. All the best stuff was just going to be what was put on Twitter, because according to the show, they're going to put their best clips on Twitter. That's what I'm going to pull from. So I did that, and then I was going to have like Clemmer and Jeff, and then the Clemmer stopped doing the biography, and then it just kind of all started to fall apart. So then I recorded these boring, simple, like, sometimes the show took a stance when like they were talking about sports and we're just going to a bunch of sports clips. And then I had Josh do some basketball thing. Yeah. So then I had all that together, and then the export just fucking, as Justin saw, a 4-hour video of blackness. Right. And then, so I just tried to get the audio out, and I just threw all my clips and stuff I put in one thing and just sent it out at that point because I was just getting pissed off at my computer. So there's the best stuff.
So I don't. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
What was up with all the repetition? Was that just to fuck you at that point? Was that trying to fill time?
No. So the repetition. Happen? So the repetition that turns out is it. I put there were individual clips and then edited sequences that got put in with the same clips.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's where it double dipped.
What I was trying to say before is like I've been in the spot where like you feel like you got to put something out, you feel like people are relying on you. And I think the best thing you could have done is just said, hey, I got a bunch of shit going on at home. I got stuff going on in my real life. Like, just give me a break here. I can't get it done.
No, I thought I could. I thought I could have done it. I thought I had some stuff. I do have some little clips I'm going to be putting out of what my failed recordings. I do have a Clemmer impression.
All right.
I do have a Jeff Delo impression. I have a Coleman impression.
All right.
For different things. So. Yeah, that's
we'll
pretty much.
We'll be on the lookout for that. I'm happy to see you back. I know me and you certainly don't have the best relationship. You mentioned those text messages. For the record, those weren't really anything harassing. I just said, hey, I'm willing to help you.
Yeah, no, they weren't harassing, but like you trying to come off as nice. You were trying to come off as like, oh, what can I do to help? Like, I don't fucking trust you 2 seconds.
I get you.
So I was just like, fuck you.
Yep. All right, well, let's get into this week. Kane is supposed to join us. I have no idea if that's happening. He said he was busy with, I don't want to mention what. We'll let him explain if he gets here. But Kane is scheduled to join the program. We'll see. Opening thoughts in the week, Matt. Let's start with you. How are you feeling about everything? Anything stick out? Do you want to start with? I'll leave it to you.
I mean, Justin's car has me absolutely disgusted. I just saw someone actually just posted a couple minutes ago a zoomed in picture. I guess the toothbrush was in the seat back pocket.
Oh,
that's
gross.
Ungodly. It's beyond disgusting. It's repulsive. I can't get over it.
Yeah, our guy
who eats. So think about that, right? He's eating his meal in the car, and then he's brushing his teeth because there was the toothpaste in there as well. So he's brushing his teeth after the meal in his car.
Listen, I've had a messy car before. Like I've been there. I've especially with like clothing and stuff like that. Everybody fast food. Maybe you got a cup in there from Wendy's. The home plate I've never seen before.
No, that's a bizarre move.
Plates from home, like Goose. I mean, you're notorious. You've kind of been a messy guy before. What's your take on this?
I've never been more proud because, like, for once, I wasn't the total slob. I mean, like, I'll be the first one to admit it. My car was not clean at all. I no longer have a car.
Shocker.
Fun fact. There you go, everybody. I sold my car. Got rid of my car.
The Gus bus is no longer.
No, I mean, there's Gus bus still rolls on.
Right,
it's a bus, not a car. Dumbass.
I got you.
No, it's just disgusting. If I think it's disgusting, that's an issue. Like, let's get very clear here. If I'm grossed out by it, like, I'm not the cleanest person. I don't have fucking plates in my car. I don't have random light bulbs. I have a Dunkin' Donuts bag probably on the floor right now, but that's probably it right now. Actually, I just cleaned it. So no, I don't.
And Dave was spot on when he said that's way more dangerous than driving and texting. It's like, what? So is he driving with his knee, eating off the plate with the
risotto?
That is far more dangerous than, shooting a little text off every once in a while.
I respect the diet. His commitment's fantastic. And when I said Justin had a rough week, I meant with some of the habits that we found out. The messy car is one thing. The period eggs is another thing that we can discuss later on. Our buddy had a tough week, but I guess with the car, he knows Kirk's going to walk by that every day. That's the one thing I don't get. Like, he knows Kirk is going to see that every day if he wants to. It's parked on, right outside the studio. Like, what the hell are you doing? Unless he wants it to come up, but having multiple plates from home is just ridiculous. You get out of the car, just grab the plates. What the hell are you doing, Justin?
It might just be something that I'm thinking is out of his control. Like, we all know Justin has an odd relationship with food. And to me, that just reeks of like closet eating, right? Like, maybe he's eating something at home and he's like sneaking something out the door so he doesn't get his balls busted.
On the way, like maybe like a egg and cheese, something like that on the way out.
Exactly. Like, I can't fathom a reason why, like he said, it takes him less than 5 minutes to eat. Why can't you scarf that down before you run out the door? It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a tough one for our guy Justin. But we'll get into the period eggs later on. I want to get to the earthquake gate because I was there for that. That was Monday's show. Justin claiming he heard the earthquake in general. The whole topic kind of went off the rails. You guys believe Justin? Do you think Justin felt the earthquake?
Yeah, you could see his reaction in that video that something happened. He looked left, looked right. Or looked right, looked left,
but
and there was a slight shake
back there.
Yeah, I think the timing though is perfect because you do see a slight shake to the camera, and then he looks around like something happened. You can see kind of in his face that he's like questioning himself. He wants to say something, but he doesn't. And they definitely, you guys had some fun with it though. You were able to stretch out another like 40 minutes of that episode when we thought it was over.
Yeah, that got a little ridiculous for a little while, but. Gus, where are you at with Earthquake Gate?
He definitely felt something. Like, you can tell something was up. I don't think he thought it was an earthquake. I think he just thought it was like Mike kept saying, a truck going by or something. Because we've both been in there. You can feel things, you can hear things. That they're not the thickest walls up there. So you can definitely tell he sensed something, but I can't say that was like he knew it was an earthquake right away. And I don't even think even for the magnitude it was. It's like, I don't think it would be like something like if I was up there and felt it for what the magnitude was, I would have been like, oh, that's probably like a big truck going by out front. And that's all it would have been. And would have just been like, whatever, and kept it going.
But we also have to admit too, that if he did stop the show and say something, he would have got lambasted by Kirk. Like, he would have been like, you're a fucking idiot.
Where he could have been like, no, there actually was an earthquake. I was right. Justin was right because, according to his brain, I'm still on the fence with the whole thing. His defense for it was bad. Like he kind of incriminated himself the deeper it went, but
You started off on his side, and then you turned
because he almost like made it sound worse. He was like, "Oh yeah," and then they travel at 5 seconds per 1,000 mile, whatever the hell it was. The math wasn't adding up. I didn't know what the hell he was saying, but it would have been great if he just screamed "earthquake" in the middle of the show. I think that would have been a good line.
Well, I mean, Kane said he felt it, right? And Kane's got to be, what, 40, 50 miles further south? So if Kane felt it, there's no reason to say that it wasn't felt in Boston.
Yeah, the biggest lie I told on the show this week was the Play It Again guy claiming he felt it. You look at the video, he doesn't feel a thing. He didn't mention it. He did, I was sitting literally 6 inches from him. There was no earthquake that happened right there.
My theory on the whole thing too is that I don't think anyone accounted for. Justin has a much higher body fat percentage, so like that's going to reverberate through him a little bit more than it is all the skinny guys. So it doesn't shock me that he felt it.
It's a really good point. Jesus Christ. We had Katie Nolan versus Kirk Minahan on that same show. Do you guys specifically think she was referring to Kirk? I was a little confused at first, but now I don't. Yeah, I originally was just confused on her wording of it because she wasn't being specific, so it was kind of hard to follow her. But basically, she just said that Kirk was, I guess, taking the side of like Grace O'Malley's fans and like cheering them up, and you shouldn't do that according to Kayla. Like I didn't get her argument. I was a little confused by it.
I mean, I think she was just trying to say, Kirk hates women without calling him out by name. And, saying that these girls in the snark chat had like a false idol in Kirk because he actually hates you. He doesn't respect you. Well, I think he respects anyone who hates the same people that he hates. So in that sense,
where is she getting that? I get the Aaron Andrews stuff. Like that was years ago now. Like he's worked with countless women at Barstool that have all said good things.
It's the narrative.
Smith came to the live show. I don't get how people could say, "Oh, he hates women."
It's the narrative, though. That's it. I mean, it's the same situation for me. I'm a fucking liar. So, like, whenever I say anything, I'm going to be labeled as a liar through that. Kirk does one thing, and now the whole media labels him as that, and that's what it's going to be. It sucks. It's not true, but that's the world we live in with how they're going to do it. So Katie Nolan's going to come out off her high horse to be like, "Oh no, they really hate fucking women," and it's not true. And it's kind of funny to see that just shows the uneducatedness of what's going on out there.
Yeah, and like Kirk says, he's an equal opportunity shit talker, right? So just because he's willing to talk shit about everybody doesn't mean that certain people aren't going to isolate every instance of him talking shit about women and say, "Look, he's talking shit about another woman. He hates women." When people who follow him, it's like the Rogan thing, right? People who actually listen to him know what he's about. But people on the outside, when they hear a clip here and there, you think he's fucking nuts.
Right. But like, I feel like Katie Nolan's close enough in that inner circle. Like she knows enough people that know him that would be like, "Oh no, he's not a demon. He's not a monster." Like she's dealt with Boston media members. Like, I don't know who, Gus, have you ever dealt with her? I feel like you might have run in with her at some point. No, never.
Nope.
I'm surprised by that. You've asked Tom Brady a question. You ever met Katie Nolan? You guys are the same age, right in the same area? Come on.
Nope. Never met her.
Yeah, no, I was a little surprised. I couldn't really follow her argument. I guess it just sounds like somebody who thinks Kirk's a terrible person and trying to just, I don't know.
Well, it's also the people she hangs out with. She's like with the Sarah Spains and all that.
Yeah.
Like she's in that group, and that group hates Kirk. So because Kirk calls them out on their bullshit.
And, if that's where she's going in episode 2, I think she also had her boyfriend, Dan Soder, on that episode as well. Her husband, whatever he is now. So it's like, if that's the level of your content for episode 2, that thing's not going to last long.
Are you a Dan Soder guy? You like Billions?
I find him pretty funny. I mean, I watched some of Billions. At the time of watching Billions, I didn't know who he was. And then I saw his stand-up and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the guy from Billions." I like his stand-up. I think he's pretty funny. I don't think he's like a great or anything, but he makes me laugh.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess, stand-up, staying in the same boat, Mike in the that's a transition right there, folks. You can't buy that. Mike and the Minifans live at a karaoke place. How are we feeling about that? You fellas have been to many live events yourself. Are you excited about that? Do you think that's going to be a disaster? Thoughts on the karaoke bar?
Disaster.
As long as it's a bar.
What? Explain.
If it's a bar and there's if it's a bar, there's places to sit and things to drink. It's gonna, like, the Minifans are gonna do what the Minifans do.
And have you seen any video?
You'll see bombed Minifans later on singing, something Springsteen, something good like that. Can you picture Kevin from Bristol getting up there, someone like that?
Oh, I can picture a bunch of these drunk Minifans up there singing stupid shit.
Goose, what's your go-to karaoke song? You got to be a karaoke guy.
Oh, I failed this one when I was on the yak because I said anything by Lonely Island, but I also do any Blink 182. Like I'll do punk emo shit, but I don't sing. I can't fucking sing. I have no voice for singing.
I'm saying like what's the song you know the best? You think you have the best stage presence? You could rock out on. Like mine. Give you an example. Probably Rockstar from Nickelback. I know that like the back of my hand. I don't know. Why.
What's My Age Again is probably the easiest one for me.
There you go, Gus.
I was doing that in college.
All right. Matt, anything on karaoke? You a karaoke guy? You don't seem like a karaoke guy.
I'm not a karaoke guy. I mean, if I had to sing something right now, you know, I got a young daughter, so it'd probably be something out of The Little Mermaid.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. That's okay. Staying on, let's see. I guess our guy Blind Mike getting some criticism. I didn't like this. This is ridiculous. Blind Mike is not standoffish before programs. I've dealt with him many times. The only time Mike has not been friendly to me is when he was scheduled, or he was surprisingly scheduled, and I didn't know that, when we were going to have our big argument. I kind of walked in after I called him out on Twitter, and that was us screaming at each other at the beginning of, I think, last year, whatever it was. He didn't say a word to me that day. Other than that, he's always been pleasant. Hello, how you doing? A little small chat. So I didn't like the slander. Goose, do you think Blind Mike's standoffish before the show?
No, never. I mean, never to me. He's always been great every time I've come in there, and even when I was producing, he was always fine with the guests. Like, I don't get where people like Mike's. Out of everyone in the world, Mike's like genuinely one of the nicest guys. Like genuinely. So I don't get where that would come from. And if Mike doesn't like you, then that means probably might have to start looking inward.
Matt, you've dealt with Mike a lot. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think does he give a standoffish vibe to a new person?
No, I mean, he was always great to me. Don't get me wrong. I've never met him in the context of like being in studio. We were at, the live show at Madawaska of Mike and the Minifans the night before that first Madawaska show. He was always great to me. No complaints. I felt like he was always welcoming to anyone who ever wanted to, meet him, come up, talk to him, get on the show. So no, I mean, that's a little out of the norm from my perspective.
Yeah. All right. So we all agree Mike's a good guy. He's not standoffish for the show. Okay, sounds good. Next topic, Dave versus Dan and Newton. Where are we at with that? Fellas, give me something. Did Dave versus Dan and Newton?
Dave's right. Dave is 100% right. Like, to bring in a personal family issue, like this is a personal family issue at the end of the day. Like, why hold it over someone's fucking head? That's the biggest dick thing to do. Just bring up once, fine, whatever. And you can tell Dave's uncomfortable about it. So like, that's like a very clear sign. Like, all right, I'm already pushing a line. Like, why push it further? That's like bringing in people outside of the show world, like family and personal things, is probably one of the lowest, scummiest things that anyone can do. And that's always like my biggest like breaking point that I always say is like, there's a line, and if you cross it, it's like, there's no coming back from that, in my opinion.
Yeah. So Dave said, right, that Dan had approached him at a live show, had mentioned it, and Dave kind of was like not into the conversation. And now this is where it kind of reminds me of this whole Billy Corgan, Bill Burr thing going on, where Bill Burr said to him, if I didn't mention this, you maybe think that you shouldn't have brought it up, like, especially after they've talked about it. So it's like, once Dave kind of let him know that, hey, this is a little off limits personally, calling it up the show, bringing it up, that's a little out of line. Yeah,
I mean, Goose, you made a good point with the family stuff. We've had our battles with that. That was one thing that we've addressed in those text messages, which I thought was nice. We don't have to get too deep into that, but I hear what you're saying there. With the Dave's brother, or, with all that, with the Dan and Newton stuff, I think there's a line to it, especially if you want to be friends with the show. Like, if you want to be a show hater and bring up stuff that people are going to be uncomfortable about, and that's your vibe, then fine. But he's somebody who tries to be buddies with the show. He comes to live events, the basketball stuff. Like, you can't really have it both ways. Like, you can be a shit stirrer. I have no problem with that. But like, you could clearly say, like you said, like, Cullinane was uncomfortable with it. Like, it just didn't really hit. And I don't know, like, to DM the show and to try to be...
The joke's not about Cullinane, though. That's like the other thing about it. It's like the whole dig isn't at Cullinane. It's at his brother, who has nothing to do with the show.
But he's doing it to make Dave mad, and he thinks that's funny. But not at that expense. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
You got to think, too, there are probably some people who listen to this show who know Dave on a personal level and maybe didn't know that about his brother, right? If they don't talk about it here, some people that are kind of in his periphery might not know that about his brother. So if that's coming up on the show, some of those people maybe listen to the show because they know Dave. Now it's kind of out there.
Yeah. Let's see. You know what? Matt, you said you had a problem with me on Twitter. I wrote this down in the notes last second. What's the issue?
I mean, the rumor mill was buzzing this week.
By the way, just for the record, so please tread lightly.
What was that? I missed that one.
I mean, a little bit of a foul mood tonight, so please tread lightly.
It's okay. It's just the rumor mill was buzzing this week. I had a few people reach out to me. One of them who considers themselves to be kind of a big deal on this network, to let me know that I guess last week Chris Klemmer was making some demands that if I was going to be on this show, that he would walk, and you just bent the knee in about 2 seconds.
Jesus. Who's telling you this? That's what I want to know.
Well, I said he was a big figure on the network. I meant that figuratively, not literally. You know who it is.
Montante?
No, he's a little guy.
Menners? Just give me the name, Matt. Who told you this nonsense? Because that's not true at all.
Andrew Menzel. It was Andrew Menzel.
He's a piece of shit. He's lying through his teeth. Klemmer said nothing of it. He said he's happy to come on anytime. He didn't ask who was on. You all of a sudden, I think you think you're a network star is what it seems like, Matt.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
A little bit.
I'm nobody. I know I'm nobody. That's why I'm not one of these guys begging to get on the show because
wait a second, Matt. That's not true. Because if I remember, you said
when I say the show, I mean the actual Kirk Minifans show.
Yeah, okay.
No, what I did this week was I reached out to you. I said, hey, if you need anybody this week, I'm available. And you said you seemed very gracious that what didn't you? Thanks for reaching out. Yeah. It's just Gus right now. We need another person. If you could be there, that'd be great. I said, yeah, I'll be there.
Absolutely. Then you scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. It's like, hey, let me at Klemmer. I want to kill Klemmer. What's your problem?
I did ask him. I said, let me at him. I did ask you to let me at him. I just wanted to stir him up a little bit. You know how he gets.
Yeah. All right. I didn't know if there was actual tension there. I remember back the clip was from how long ago was that clip where Mike kicked him off the show? It's got to be 5 years ago.
2019.
Yeah.
Or 2020 early, probably. Yeah, it was. That was. I would be willing to say that Klemmer probably doesn't like me, but no. I was just hoping that Menners would pop his head into this show right now. Menners didn't say it. It was the guy in my head who told me that. I'm just fucking with you.
Oh boy, Matt's okay. It's Friday night. Matt's feeling it. Can't blame him there.
Feeling myself a little bit.
So we just did this whole 2 minutes for absolute bullshit.
For absolute bullshit. Yes.
That was awesome.
Goose, save me. Well, Goose, give me something else. What have you been up to? How's the Amazon stuff?
Oh, I fucking love delivering. Like, right. I'm going to be very clear. Delivering is the best. Like, be nice to your Amazon delivery drivers. They work hard during these cold winter days.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of rumors that those pictures are AI. I don't believe them, but
they're not AI. They are what's it called? The portrait mode.
Portrait.
Yeah.
Are you like sprinting from house to house? I can see you being very active out there.
No, I don't sprint. I mean, I talk to the customers when I'm there. I chat everyone up. I got a pocket full of dog treats. Got to give the dogs some treats so they don't bite me.
Gus, do people like
crackhead?
Tell me to shut up if it's too much, but do people tip you? Like, do people do tips?
Yeah, I got some gift cards this holiday season. Cool. Got some Dunkin' Donuts gift cards, so shout out to that. That was nice. I appreciate that. The people leave out the snacks. That's the best thing when like the people leave out like the snacks and water.
There you go.
That is.
Who does that?
A bunch of people do.
Wait. Like it's Halloween?
No, like so outside their front door, there's a basket and it's got like water bottles. Some people put Gatorade, like little chewy bars, like little snacks, like little chips. It's
never heard of that.
Because they know the delivery's coming.
Delivery's coming, yeah.
Wow.
They have it for all the drivers. It's like, take one. So I take one. I look at the picture. I go, thank you. If they have a camera. Say, thank you.
Wait a second. They take pictures of you too? I'm a little confused.
If they have a Ring camera, then yeah, I'm getting recorded. So I make sure I say thank you to it. So they know.
Something tells me those people like to like post that online and be like, look at the great things that I'm doing for these delivery drivers.
And you know what? It is a great thing. So I'll take that every fucking time. It's better than calling in bitching about taxes getting tipped and shit like that.
Are they homemade snacks or are they like packaged treats? Like,
no, it's just like a small bag, like a lunch. It's like a legitimate child's lunch snacks. So like a bag of chips, like Chewy bars, the Nature Valley things.
All right. Oh wow,
that would never even cross my mind to do.
Have you ever had like a weird interaction with any of these people?
Nothing. I haven't had too many yet. I mean, I've been offered drinks and weed, but. That's
really?
About it. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You know how many times I've walked up by people like just smoking in their car and like, you want a hit? I'm like, I can't.
Oh.
I wish.
Would you ever offer the mailman weed, Matt?
Well, we're
Would
not.
I offer the
We're not the
mailman
mailman.
weed?
We're Amazon.
I mean,
we're
Just,
different.
excuse me, the Amazon delivery guy.
If I got the sense off of him that he was into it, I might if I was like out there smoking at the time, but I'd never just be like, "Hey man, you want part of my stash?" Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm about a month off the weed, so I don't have anything on me now, but I
Having
mean, I
withdrawals,
probably
tough
would have in the
sleeping?
past. Sorry?
Tough sleeping, withdrawals, anything?
No, for the first, well, I actually got norovirus like the first day that I decided to quit, so
Okay.
like it kind of, helped me stay off of it because I was in bed for 3 days.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, I've been feeling pretty good. I was actually feeling like I was more stressed out when I was smoking.
Mhm.
So I feel pretty good right now.
Oh, that's good to hear. Are we
Yeah.
going to see Matt from Providence ever in studio?
I have no idea. If like I think I said it when I was on here a couple weeks ago. If they think that I could do it, then I'd be willing to try to make it work. But I don't think highly enough of myself to be like, hey, let me on the show. I need to go on the show. That's just not.
Yeah,
what-
but you
what
know
I'm
how it
about.
works. All you got to say is, hey, if I'm in the area this day, if you guys need one, I'm here. It doesn't have to be like,
Yeah.
put me on right now, Dave. You know what I mean? You know the vetting process. It's nothing. Serial killer could walk in there. They don't care.
No, you're right.
We
You're
might
right.
have had one. I still think there's definitely been some. You have to
Well-
think there's been some criminal in there. Like,
Kane is able.
That
oh yeah,
That's what he's doing
But,
right
like-
now. He's burying a body.
that
You know?
guy DG from Philly who was asking to get on, who went on the producer show, he kind of gives me serial killer vibes.
Mhm. If you told me that guy Josh from the TikTok, the guy who's screaming at me over the Soto stuff, and if you told me he's got some bodies in his base, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's adds up. How about Mutnansky? We got to talk about the hair.
oh my god.
Tough stuff. I mean, for a guy that I don't, I'm not going to say I'm vain, but like the one thing I would like is a nice haircut. I don't have one now, but I'll go nuts if I'm ever balding. I think I'd just go bald right away. I'm not going to be the guy trying to keep the hair. Mutt looks ridiculous. I mean, that I love Mutt. He's got to do something there. Like he knew he was going on camera. It almost feels like a bit, Mutt. What's going on with that?
I need fryer cut mutt so bad. I need it like I need air to breathe, man. That like it like you said, it can't get worse than it is now. So like might as well either go for something wacky or just get rid of it altogether. Maybe get some plugs. I know he probably can't afford them, but he needs to figure something out.
Kirk said it today. If he had just taken the deal with Barstool, he would have been in Turkey. Had a whole new fresh head of lettuce. Would have been nice.
And look at like someone like Nicky Smokes, right? He gets his hair done. Now he's lifting weights. He's getting skinny. Like this could have turned Mutt's life around.
Well, I just like did you think he saw that video before it went out, or do you think he just got sent to, did he have any editing process there? Because
No.
throw a hat on, Mutt. Come on, Mutt. You look ridiculous. For a guy who knows he's gonna go on camera, like I wish he was doing a bit there because
he's honestly like a month away from looking like Richard Simmons. Like, let's get real here.
And they're giving away helmets, so just like do it with a helmet on, make it a bit, do something. You know what I mean? Like
get the cow costume. He's Mutnansky. You know what I mean? Like he can do anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. What else?
I can't imagine his wife actually. Do you think his wife is actually like, yeah, you need to grow it out. It looks good, hun. Like that can't be the case. I think it's maybe he's just afraid to let it go.
I think
he's holding on to it. Come on.
I actually believe Mutt saying his wife likes it, because I think like maybe she doesn't want to have like short hair. Maybe there's something she likes to grab on. I don't know. Like I can actually like that's too far fetched like to randomly say. Like it looks too ridiculous for her to just be like, no one would believe it. So it has to be so ridiculous that it has to be true.
And like, but he got roasted after that Joni's Meatballs video where you could see like the wispiness of the hair. You'd think after that he'd be like, all right, like I got to do something. And he's just letting it go and letting it go and letting it go.
I kind of respect it. Like he's holding on to it as long as he can. I don't know how old Mutt is, but like he moves well. Like during the basketball season, he moves well for his age and stuff. Like he doesn't look like an old guy. So I think he's trying to live out the young days. He's Mutt. Come on, he's the best. What else though? Let me see. I guess the Yukon trip as well. Let's talk about that. Let's talk the D-Lows, Mutnansky, and Kirk Minahan. I never saw that coming. I don't think when Jeff said when they said Jeff's wife is coming, I did not see that. I don't know why, but that makes a hodgepodge of a crew.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be great conversation in that car ride. it's I can't imagine all of them getting along that great. Like the wife is probably going to have some stuff that she's going to say, and Kirk's just going to be like, okay, whatever. But he'll play nice. He'll play nice. It'll be fun when they meet Dan Hurley. I'm sure. It sounds like him and Kirk might have a little bit of a relationship. So at least there'll be some highlights.
I think Jeff made a good point. Like speaking of Mutt's hair, like let's pay some tribute to Hurley. Like be one and the same.
Dan Hurley to me is the biggest asshole in sports right now. I can't stand the guy, but if he is a Minifan, I'll have to walk that back. I'm not exactly sure how close that relationship goes, but yeah. I don't know that crew to me, as somebody who is a third wheel often in these dates with their friends, I'm usually the guy that's the tag along. Kirk and Mutt being the tag along to the D-Lows. I don't know why. I
don't think I'm the tag along though. Like if anything, I feel like she's the tag along. Like
it is kind of like a guy's event.
Actually, no, it's Mutt. Let's get real here. It is Mutt.
Yeah.
Ridiculous crew. Hold on, I think
be cool, though. That'll be a good game, I'm sure. I can't really get behind Dan Hurley. I'm a URI fan, so he kind of did us dirty. So I won't be rooting for him.
Oh, God forbid he takes a better job.
Hey man, you know what? Don't come to a school, say you're going to build a culture, say you're going to improve a program, and then you leave after like a year or two.
Oh no, college coaches lie.
Not my guy. Yeah, I mean, hey, scumbags are scumbags.
Are you a sporto, Matt? I didn't know this.
No, I'm not a sporto, but my whole family went to URI. My dad played there, so I got to root for the basketball team, obviously.
Mm-hmm. All right. The next two topics I had were Kane and the tips. In my call-in with the whole debate there, it was Kane versus Mick and the tips. Where are you guys at with everything? Do you think bartenders should tip out the serving staff? Have you ever worked at restaurants, either of you?
I've worked for a culinary staffing agency, which is the closest thing to come. So nothing really specifically in the food service, but no, the cooks get paid $25-$30 an hour. And you made the best point of it. It's if there's a slow day, they're not tipping you. So tough shit. Like you're already tipping out servers, the bus boys, like you're already slipping all that apart out, and they're not doing anything to like chip in on that. So it's, they get paid enough.
Right? It's simple. How often does Kane, as the cook, have to deal with the cunty customer complaints? He doesn't.
Right.
You guys get the attitude. You guys are customer facing. You make or break somebody's night there. Like,
push back on that though. They do got to deal with a bunch of fucking idiots like me running into the kitchen, being like, "Where the fuck's the lobster roll?" And the number one rule at a restaurant is you got to respect the kitchen staff. If anybody's handling the food, they're gonna get it out to you. They can make it take long or fast. You know what I mean? So you always got to be cool to those guys.
Sure, but when he makes a shitty bolaise sauce, who hears about it? You do
for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think
when the steak is cold, who has to deal with that?
The chef and the server. I mean, you're going to get bitched at and it might come off your tip, but ultimately the chef's got to cook it better.
Yeah, but it's going to come off your tip. So that way, is the cook then going to give you a percentage of his check to make up for that percentage of tip that you lost because of his fuck-uppery?
I'll flip it on the other side then. And they would say, well, how about all the times you get complimented on the good service and how fast the food came out and they give you a good tip? Am I running back to give them, you know what I mean?
Then your response should be start paying me. You start giving me for when this happens, and I'll start giving you when that happens.
I would just say, just become a bartender or a waiter if you want to do that. It's
also
that's
true.
Simple. It's different jobs, you get paid different stuff, and how you get like commission salespeople make different salaries than regular. It's just how it goes. It's a pay structure. Kane's argument is
though.
Also,
he starts waiting
tables. He was so pissed off at first about the taxes. Not even about like just
who wants more taxes.
He just wants everyone to pay taxes.
The aisle. Like, what are we doing?
That was just more of a if I got to pay him, you got to pay him.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on Kane? Did you feel good about his appearance? Are you a Kane guy? Do you think he's good for the world? Kirk asked me that on Monday. He makes me very angry, but he's a bit of a shitster. I think he's good for this world.
I'm just glad he's not stalking me at the bowling alley anymore, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Goose, you had was there any bad run-ins with him? I mean, did you ever confront him after that?
He just looked at me and left. It was kind of funny. Oh, and then he tried to narc on me for smoking weed outside. How dare I smoke weed outside? Shame on me being a terrible pothead.
I think the argument was you're working for the show, but there's nothing.
I was after hours at bowling. So yeah, okay.
There you go. Hey, I'm looking from Kane's perspective. He's crazy.
No, it's fine.
Do you like Kane, Gus? Do you want him on the show?
I don't care. It's entertaining. Like, I mean, when Mike's in there, he's an easy punching bag, and it doesn't take a lot to make me look dumb, but he makes me look smart. I fucked up that saying. That's fine.
It's all right.
He always has some good
you're a
stories.
Take-Two guy.
Too.
It's all right. What do you say, Matt?
He's kind of just degenerate enough to like give you some good stories every once in a while, where Kirk can kind of twist it into a little bit more. And I enjoy his appearances.
Also, his anger about his ex, so like he's gonna
That's
he's
what's
gonna be
going next.
fucking smart because like you're putting this all into fucking recording, and it's so easy to play in court.
Well, especially with kids, right? Like if there's ever a custody battle, anything like that, she can, I think that ends in murder-suicide personally, but time will tell.
Do we think that that's actually happening? Like, is this girl watching? Is this why Kane's not on the show tonight? Did Kane get the muzzle? That's a fair question. But is she like scoundering through the network? Like, I'm going to clip. Is she doing what basically me and John from Scranton do for like sound clips for the shows and stuff? Like, does she need the timestamps? Is it for her?
I mean, he seems to get like, I won't say emotional, but like when he talks about it, you can kind of hear his voice change where he's like, seems actually upset. So I think he's telling the truth. But that would be a whole new level of psycho if she's doing that.
I think there's just so much going on both sides. It's no one's going to win out of this. Like everyone's going to lose in that situation except the Minifans who are going to be able to watch it from a third party thing. Cause I just don't think he can help himself. Something like this that probably shouldn't go public is probably going to go public.
And you also probably don't want her to be able to get her hands on like him calling her a stupid cunt when her kids are old enough to understand what that is. And she's like, look what your dad was saying about me in public. Like that won't be a good look. What
are the odds we see her in studio?
Slim to none.
Percentage. But no, I don't think that's true, Goose. Give me a number.
10%.
25%.
Oh, I think it's 50. Kane's crazy. You guys,
I think she would go around him. I don't think he would.
Fucking nuts. That guy's crazy.
But do you think he would facilitate it, or do you think she would go around him to Kirk or to Justin and be like, I'm Kane's ex. I want on the show. I want to tell my side of the story.
I don't think she'd go around. It seems like she's getting the information from other people who are sending it to her. So if that's the case, I don't think she would go around to Kirk.
I would. You could tell me that they're both in on it and they're both acting and they're pretending to hate each other right now, but they're somehow think they're going to take over the show or something. Like I'm telling you, he's fucking nuts. He wouldn't surprise me.
So hired actresses, this is all a bit. This is
no. I mean, like they're like we're gonna pretend like we're fighting, and I'm stalking the show, and I'm gonna become a character in the world, and all. Like, don't put it bad. I'm telling you, if she's sitting next to Kane on like a Tuesday, she's a leech. What if this broad's real and they're actually doing this? She's scoundering the network. Well, think how crazy that is. It's fucking nuts.
That would mean
if you're
that
doing
Kane's
anything through a divorce, so it's gonna get messy. Like
because she's listening to me and John from Scranton talk. Like, think how ridiculous that is. Talk about KMS.
When you're going through a divorce, you're gonna want to put anything that can make you look more favorable in that case. You're gonna fucking do. Any good lawyer would say that. If he's dumb enough to go put public recordings out on things, if I'm her attorney, I'm like, yeah, I want you to watch everything. I want you to see what people are saying, and we're gonna use it against them. It's like if you're a lawyer, that's like easy money 101.
And think about the layers to this lie that would have to exist, right? That means like the girlfriend wouldn't really exist. The Christmas present meal, like who is that for? Like it would just be one lie after another. He'd be pulling a Gus impression, and I don't think he's really smart enough to keep up with that level of lie.
That is true.
I don't know where he's going with everything, but you could tell me. You could tell me right now that he has.
Did he go mute, Matt?
Yeah, I can't hear a word he's saying. I think
you're
having audio.
That's why I started looking at you like, what the fuck?
I thought he was just giving us dead air.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Nope, still can't hear him. There you go.
Can hear you a little bit.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I was staring at you.
We were we're looking at you like, "What the fuck?"
I thought your brain broke for a second.
Jesus Christ. Moving on. The Barstool bathroom. Where are we at with that, Gus? You have worked in many environments. Have you ever left a bathroom looking like that?
Fuck no, never. That is fucking gross. Like when I first saw that, I'm like, that is disgusting. Now I'm trying to think which bathroom it was there. Because I'm like,
there's the upstairs one.
Upstairs. Okay. Yeah, no, that's bad. That's just disgusting. Was that
Yeah,
was it in the Will Compton Hall of Fame?
I think that's
No, it wasn't.
I think it's downstairs. I think that's the downstairs one.
You got to pray for a plumbing issue there. I mean, it kind of did look like a plumbing issue with how much stuff was just piled on top. And like, I like to think that if someone was just leaving shits in the toilet, they'd just leave a clean shit in the toilet.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
you
how
just
do you
leave the
walk
shit.
away from that? Like how do you get up and you flush and then you turn around, you pull your pants up, you get your jacket on. Like he turns around, that thing's overflowing in shit. You know, like how do you just walk away?
You got to tell someone, right?
I mean, the office is big, but like they only have like 50 employees that walk in there, so it's pretty obvious they're gonna find out who it is. There's cameras everywhere. Like I thought at first it was the big beef guy. I mean, it would kind of make sense, right? Like he's a big fella. I wouldn't be surprised if
he's on a regular toilet.
I don't know. I'm not
I think
too.
he needs a bedpan.
I'm a Crohn's guy. I've had my fair share of experiences with toilets and explosions, I should say, but I've never left a toilet looking like that. It's almost like embarrassing. Like I couldn't leave a bathroom like that. People would be like, "What the fuck?"
No, the first thing is like I'm looking for a fucking plunger. I'm being like, we have an issue, guys. I don't know what happened.
That's like plumbing issue. Like Big Cat's explanation of it didn't really.
It's got to be a plumbing issue. It has to. If it's not a plumbing issue, that person needs to be fired.
Yeah.
If it's not a plumbing issue, that's fireable. Like it's gone.
And if it is a plumbing issue, like we said, right, you would think he would see the backup, which means he's probably not washing his hands. He's just hitting that flush and getting the fuck out of there.
Why are you double
all around disgusting human being?
Oh,
not good.
No.
Is it a fireable offense for sure? Like, would you, if you were the boss, you firing someone?
Oh my God, yeah.
If it's on purpose,
you don't live in like a real world. Like that's not like a real office and like
no. But flushing a fucking toilet isn't real world job shit. That's called being a decent member of society.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
How many warnings do you get? Do you get one warning
None.
at least?
It's shit.
Yeah.
If it's non-plumbing related, no warnings. None. That's a diabolical move. You're like sabotaging your coworkers. That could be workplace violence.
I mean, they let people throw, high noons at each other. Is it any worse than that?
Honestly, yes.
You think it is?
Because in a moment of a high noon getting thrown, temporary insanity, instant snap, crime of aggression. This is a diabolical move. Like, if this is purposely done, there is thought, there is planning. It's like, I'm going to go take a massive shit and walk away. That is fucking gross.
It's pretty disgusting. I mean, anyone who's willing. I had a friend back in high school who would go into like a McDonald's and would just shit a foot to the side of the toilet right on the floor. And we would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's a health issue. He thought it was funny. Maybe this guy thinks it's funny.
Whoa.
I don't know.
He would shit half of his shit on the floor?
Oh, he would just like squat like a foot off to the side of the toilet and just take a shit on the floor.
Is this the one I'm thinking of in Warren?
In the McDonald's in Warren? It was in the McDonald's in Warren,
you.
yes.
That's fucking gross.
Oh, Goose, you don't like that, huh?
No, because I've been to that fucking McDonald's. I had my birthday there.
I guarantee you know the guy who did it too.
Probably.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's wrap this up. Third chair of the week. Who you got? I'm taking myself out of it, and Blind Mike as well. So we're only picking from Kane, I think, right? Because Bish canceled, and the play it again guy.
Play it again guy. I was gonna say,
was he even there? You tell me.
I gotta go play it again, guy. Even though we didn't feel the earthquake, I'm going play it again, guy. I like playing.
I gotta go, Kane. He brought a little bit of narrative to some of the episodes, so.
All right, fair enough. Producer report card. Cullinane and Justin, give me the grades.
I mean, they got A's for me.
Content or actual production value?
Production
give me the grades for the week. Anything good, bad?
When you get Justin talking about having sex with brace face for $2,000, it's always a good conversation.
Yeah, that's a B+ week for Justin. Probably just a C average week for Cullinane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cullinane's busy coaching. He's got to go find that basketball court.
There you go. All right, folks, that's going to be it this week. Tough week. We're all kind of all over the place, but listen, we are going to be every Friday, 8 o'clock, whether you love it or not. We are here. Mike and the Minifans. Fellas, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show, but it's still